Photoshop has a lot of tools. Photoshop has so many tools. So when you open Adobe Photoshop, the tools are countless. There are a whole lot of tools that can get you confused. So if you don't know what you really want to do, trust me, you will get confused. You will not know a particular tool for each task. So all the tools we have in Adobe Photoshop are for purposes, and all the tools are of importance. Each of the tools has a particular task to perform. So there is nothing like some of the tools are not important, others are important. No, all the tools are important. Just that you cannot use all the tools together. So some of the tools are there that you just have to master because you can't do anything without touching those tools. For instance, move tool. So when we get to move tool, this is our move tool. It basically displays a sample video showing us how to move object on our document. But before that, let's create any document, any new document, and then drag any object on it and try to move. So let's go to home, create new, and then we select any paper size that we want. So you can also select any paper size of your choice, A4, whatever. So let me go to print, and then I will pick A4, but I'll set it to landscape. The portrait, I'll set it to landscape, then I'll create. So this is our new document. What do I want to do with this new document? What I really want to do with this new document is that I want us to move object on it. So maybe we have some drawings or any other acts to perform on this particular document, and then we may like to position them and other things. So I want us to bring any object to this document and move it around. How do we do that? So you can go to desktop, or furthermore you can hold on Control O or Command O on Mac, Control O on Windows. It will open your file explorer for you. Then you select anything you want, or you can minimize it and then go to desktop, pick anything that you want to drag on your document and start moving it around. So I will pick this particular image here and drag it on my document and see if I can easily move it around. So once it opens, you hit on enter. So now you could see that our move tool is activated. So the shortcut for move tool is V. So when you press V on your keyboard, it means that you are ready to move the object around. So when you click, you can drag it around. Just left click without releasing your hand. You can drag the image around. You can position it at wherever you want to position it. You can position the image at any part of your document. Maybe you want to hide it at the corner. It's a design you are creating. For instance, you want to hide it here. You need only the color. So look, you can move it at the corner and then you pick the color samples and perform a particular task with all the colors you are selecting. So you can click again, drag it to the middle or drag it to the top. So the shortcut for move to is V. When you hold on V, you can click and drag any object on your document. So that is basically how you can easily make good use of the move tool. It's basically used to move any object on your document. Move tool is used to move any object on your document. Now moving further, all the tools have sub tools. So you could see there is some small arrow attached to the move tool, telling us that there are other tools inside that particular tool. So you can left click and hold, or you can right click on that arrow. It will display any other tools within that particular. So now we have artboard, which is found within the move tool. The artboard tool is also found within the move tool. What does it do? So that one tool, it helps us to create various artboard. So for instance, this are A4. If I just left click and drag over it like this, it will give me access to create different artboard for different purposes. You see we have plus. So if I click on this plus, look, it creates another artboard for me. Now I have two artboard to work on. You can create another one again by clicking on the plus. I have another artboard. So far we have three artboard. And then you can design on all the three artboards separately. You can design on all of them separately. So that's how you can utilize the artboard tool in the move toolbar. Now let's move to our rectangular marquee tool. We have a rectangular marquee tool here. What does it do? The rectangular marquee tool is basically used to select any object in a rectangular form or in a rectangular order. For instance, let's drag any object on our document. Let me drag something, and then we use the rectangular tool on it and see if it will work for us. So let me drag this book here, or besides I have a design here. Let me drag this design on our A4 document. Let me drag this design. Now, if I want to move it, what do? I press V on my keyboard to activate my move tool. If the artboard tool is selected, you can still press the V, or you can click and select the move tool, then you can move it around. You have transform points around. You can click at the left or the right corner, then you transform it neatly. Press and enter, and then you release any transform from the main selection. Now, once you have your object being transformed and you want to select a portion of it, you click on your rectangular marquee tool to make a rectangular selection. So on this particular thing here, I want to select maybe from the name top to the down here. Then I'll click and make a nice selection. I want to move this selection. What do? I press V on my keyboard. The V on my keyboard will help me to move that particular selection. But before that, look, let's come back to the layers terminal. When you get to the layers terminal, you could see that the object is a smart object rather, sorry. So what you do is you right click on it, then you go to rasterize. So once you have rasterized the layer, what it means is that it's giving you access to apply any further effect or any other actions to it. So right now you can select your marquee tool, rectangular marquee tool. After that, move it around. Now we can move this selection. We can move only this selection. If you want to go back, or if you want to undo this selection, hold Ctrl or Command Z on your keyboard, Ctrl or Command D to deselect the selection around it. I want us to perform this particular task again. What I mean is simple. We basically want to select portion of this particular document we have here. So what we do is that we will pick our rectangular marquee tool. And what the rectangular marquee tool does is that it makes a selection in the shape of a rectangle. So if you want to select anything in a form of a rectangle, what you do is you pick your rectangular marquee tool. If the object is a smart object, you rasterize it at the layers panel. Then you can easily move any portion of it. So I'll pick my rectangular marquee tool. Then I want to select the location aspect. So from this portion of the design. So what I'll do is I'll draw on it, provided your design, the layer is selected. If that layer is selected, it means that you can perform the action. So once you have selected it, press V on your keyboard. The V simple means that you want to move that particular selection. Then you can click on it and move it around. Look, that portion is moved. It's cut off. If you want to go back, you hold on Ctrl or Command Z. Then there is a selection around it. Once this selection is still there, you can't apply anything to the project. So what you do, you have to deselect it by holding Ctrl or Command D. Then the selection is gone. So once the selection is gone, you can then apply any other further effect to this particular document you see on your main document. Now inside the rectangular marquee tool, there are other sub tools. So you left click and hold. Now it displays elliptical marquee tool. Now, what does this elliptical marquee tool does? That one tool makes a selection of objects in elliptical shape. So if you want to select anything in elliptical shape, what you do is you select that object. Look, when you come to the layers panel, the object that you see on your A4 document here right now is selected. If I select the second object and I apply my elliptical marquee tool to it, it will not show, because right now what we see on the interface is this particular design, and that is the first layer you see here. So you click on the first layer, then whatever thing or whatever object you want to make a selection of it in elliptical order, you apply your elliptical marquee tool to it. Maybe I want to select the word bless in elliptical order. I will click and select it in elliptical shape. You can use the arrow keys to position it after you have made the selection. You can position it at the top, Then when you finish, you press V on your keyboard. Now you can move that portion around. Look, you can move that portion around. That is how you can basically use it. Once it's used to draw ellipse doesn't mean that it cannot use to draw a unique circle. No, that elliptical marquee tool will also help you to draw any shape, anything you want to select in a form of circle. Any shape or anything you want to select in a form of circle. So if you want to select anything in a form of circle, we can use it by holding Shift on your keyboard, then you draw. So once you make the drawing, it will not be in a form of elliptical again. This time it will be in a form of circle. So once you have the circle, you press V on your keyboard, then you can move the shape around in a form of circle. So Control or Command Z, Control or Command D to deselect. So I want us to practice elliptical marquee tool once again and a rectangular marquee tool once again. So let me close this particular document and drag in another document that I can easily make some selections of. Okay, now I have this social media handles here. Provided maybe sometime when you are doing design, you may like to use some of them for a particular purposes. Maybe you want to provide your YouTube, Facebook, and then Instagram handles. You would like to use the logos. So what you do is, the moment we drag this particular object on our main document, look, when you come to the layers thumbnail, the object is a smart object. This arrow here, this symbol that you see, the small symbol you see like a camera, it means the object is a smart object. So if we apply our marquee tool on it and try to move it, it will not move. So what you do is you right click on the object, then you rasterize it. So once the object is rasterized, go to the marquee tool. You can pick the rectangular marquee tool and then make any selection of your choice. So for instance, maybe we want to select Facebook icon only. So what we do is you select and then you press on V. Afterwards, you can move only the Facebook icon and then send it to the main page that you are working on. Control or Command Z, Control or Command D. So let me delete this document from our main document. Now this is our main document. I want us to drag the social media handles as a separate document. I want us to drag it as a separate document. How do we drag it? If you want to drag anything in Photoshop as a separate document, what you do is you click and drag it on your menu bar. So once you drag it, look, it opens as a separate document. This one is our main document for the design or whatever thing you want to do. So once we have this one as a separate document, anything we want to move from this one to our main document, we can move and start working on it. So here what you do is the background is locked, so you click on the padlock to unlock it, then you pick your marquee tool. So draw anything around it in a form of rectangle, any of the icons, press V to move it. Now it's movable. Look, it's movable. So you can move it to the main document and then you drag it to work on it. That's a Control Command Z, then you go back. So if you want to make the selection in a form of circle, pick the elliptical marquee tool, Control Command D, then hold the Shift and draw your circle gently. Now this is the circular selection you have. Press V on your keyboard, the shortcut for move, and then pick it and then move it to the document you want to work on. So right now we have it here. Then you can apply any effect to it. Control Command Z, Control Command D to deselect. You can press delete to delete this one from the document. Simple as that. So let's go back to the other tools in our rectangular marquee or our marquee tools. We have this single row marquee tool.